It was an extremely hard-fought basketball game by both teams. We knew coming in that if you're going to win here, you're going to have to earn it. They don't beat themselves. They have a great system. They've got, the versatility on their roster. They're a unique matchup. They're a unique cover. And fortunately, we made enough plays to come out here with a win tonight. It's a good start to the Big Ten season, of a long road, and then there's a long road ahead of us.
Okay, questions for the players? Michael?
For either of you two, what impact did their forward, Stephen Crow, being in foul trouble have throughout the game?
Sorry, could you repeat it?
What impact did their forward, Stephen Crow, being in foul trouble throughout the game, have on the game?
You're saying what's the impact of him being in foul trouble? Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many other teams in the country start 2 7-footers with Crow and Winter, and I think I don't really know what to say about his foul trouble. I think that Vlad did a great job of trying to punish him, and it's always nice when you've got the starting 5 in foul trouble, no matter who the guy is or what team it is. And I think down the stretch, we kind of just tried to go to what was working, and they had Nolan Winter guarding it, and I don't really know how much of a difference it was, but Vlad did a great job at just trying to get their bigs into foul trouble.
Right in the middle, you guys.
Vlad, you really came alive in that second half offensively, especially. Can you just talk about what was working well for you there?
I miss a lot of wide open shots, but I'm gonna keep saying thank you for my team, thank you for believing in me, like finding me, giving me looks, because it's when I doubt myself, they don't doubt in me, and that gives me so much more confidence just like to play for these guys.
Right here.
To both of you, I mean, you were saying that not a lot of teams have 2 7-footers. Just what kind of matchup problems has that caused teams so far this season, and just how well do you feel y'all kind of complement each other when you're on the floor together?
Yeah, I think it all just goes back to our coaches' trust in us. We definitely had a few rough games collectively, and other guys stepped up for us to help us win, and just through all of that, our coaches stuck with us, and we've worked at it for the last 4 or 5 months, and I think the biggest thing, I think Vlad just said, is just the trust in us from my teammates, our coaches, and when they let us do that, I think it's really effective, and just that 4 or 5 ball screen's pretty good, and Vlad was hitting big shots down the stretch, so kudos to him, and he said he wasn't making them, but in practice he makes all of them, so we knew they were eventually going to go in, and when we needed them most and it mattered most, he hit them.
I would like to add that we're still working on doing how we play. I feel like we fairly new team, but I feel like we make huge steps forward to just play together and learning each other.
Mark up front.
Dan, it seemed like in the second half the ball was more in your hand in terms of being able to create things. What advantage do you think that you were able to exploit in those situations?
Yeah, I think it goes back to, I think it's all, I mean, for me personally, it's a mental thing, and just the sense that when my coaches give me the confidence to do that, it just makes it so much easier, and they do a great job at that, so I could not appreciate them more. And I mean, just playing with the guy that puts so much pressure on the rim and Vlad, guys have to make a decision as to what they're going to do, and I know the last few possessions of the game, they kind of went more to me, and I had a quick swing to Roddy, I think twice in a row, and we work on it all the time, and it's just a quick 1-2 pass, and you get a 90% around the rim guy getting the ball in crunch time, and that's what we want. So just appreciate the coaches.
I'd like to interject. I don't think it was in his hands quite enough. So just.
Okay. For the players? Is this a question for the players?
This is for Vlad and Danny. A little more lighthearted question here. So we saw this duo throughout the season, but more so in this game. I'm wondering if you guys have come up with a potential nickname for your duo.
We were just talking about. All right, wow. We were just talking about this, and our media guys were trying to come up with something, and
It's a work in progress.
yeah, so we're trying to figure that out.
Follow you, Michigan basketball on
Socials, yeah. So it's a work in progress, but it's gonna probably tonight or tomorrow we'll see. So follow Michigan basketball socials.
We're working around the clock on it.
Yeah, shout out Ben Goldberg.
Okay, thanks, fellas. Appreciate you.
You're on the nickname guy. I'll come up with. I didn't know we were looking for one.
They already got it.
Got it?
They got it.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Questions for Coach? Let's go Mark and then Donnie.
Just wanted to kind of follow up on what I asked Danny about, him as a playmaker. I think he had all of his assists in the second half. Why do you like the ball in his hands, and what do you think he was able to exploit this evening?
Just the fact that he really is a guard in a 7-footer's body. The way he dribbles, the way he shoots it, the way he can create space. And so we just felt like with him, and we've been working on it the last couple weeks more extensively as the games have bogged down. We're trying to figure out what's our best plan of attack in half court. And that, in a small sample size, had been a really efficient attack for us. So we started trying to, just get everyone to be more aware of it. And then with Danny, because it's a new role for him, it's just hitting the singles. And he hit some home runs, but he wasn't trying to hit home runs. He just was making the right play. And so that's what I thought he did late. He when he didn't have the 4-5 to Vlad, he simply made the next play. He created the advantage. He created the play, but then Roddy made the play to Vlad. So it's just us figuring out the best way for us to play. I think every team's going through it. They're still trying to figure out what they're the best at, what they're not so good at. And some of it's trial and error, but I think it's fairly obvious when he plays at that pace, some teams are going to have to game plan to stop it.
Right then, Coach.
Coach, teams have looked to attack Wisconsin's 4-5 with Nolan and Steven quite a different ways. What did you kind of see, in preparation for this game that thought this matchup could work well for you guys?
Well, I speak for, I think, most of us coaches. The 4-5 ball screens, you don't see a lot. So the players don't defend them. I was concerned when they went small and Tanji was at the 4. And in my mind, I was like, let's go ahead and take a look at it when they downsized. And I thought we were still able to play over the top. And most of it's because Vlad was unpredictable with the screens when where they're coming from. And then his angles are continuously improving. And then when Danny made the 3, it forced them to have to go over. And so there's a lot of things that go into it, but it's credit to our guys. They made plays. They played smart, solid basketball.
Michael?
When Wisconsin doesn't have a shot falling, what changes about how they operate offensively and how you could defend them?
Well, I mean, Blackwell and Taji, man, those guys, they shoot the 3 off the bounce, off the catch. They get downhill. They're so intelligent where they know when you reach, they make you pay. And they're strong and physical. I thought they both just find different ways to impact the game, and we took a calculated risk to plug a little more than we normally do off of their big guys, and they didn't knock them down tonight. And I do think our guys were active enough, and then also because we were going at them a little bit defensively, maybe they didn't have quite the legs. I'm not sure, but obviously our game plan was to keep those 2 off the free throw line and try to limit their 3-point shots.
Right there, Coach.
Dusty, yesterday you kind of talked about Vlad kind of mixing between his aggressiveness but also finding ways to play smart. How do you think he accomplished that today, and why do you think he was so successful?
I just think that he picks his spots really well. And obviously he's so big and strong around the rim. I think his physicality, they were trying to do something on ball screens that's hurt us in the past, and I thought Vlad was able to meet them and kind of hold a wall. But offensively, when you have the hands that he has, and you're such a big target, we've got to find ways to continue to get him the ball. But he played at a very efficient rate, and I think he had a couple that didn't drop that we expect to going forward.
One more for Coach.
Coach, coming into the game, the matchups were pretty much even. You guys beat Wisconsin on the fast break points, 19-4. You shared the ball better with 16 assists to 8. Was that part of the game plan to try to beat Wisconsin, sharing the ball as much as you can?
Well, that's the staple of it's our identity. Where we typically limit teams their assisted baskets. I think if you look at us historically, our defense has always been one of the top teams in the country. We're top 10 now, and I think we'd be higher, but we've turned it over so many times. So teams have been able to get assists in transition after steals. And so our goal is to be top 5 in unassisted baskets. So it's what we do. I do think Klesma made a couple big shots off the bounce. Those guys made some really good individual plays. And a couple of them didn't drop late, and we were able to finish with the rebounds. But for us to get that many assists was a direct reflection of us trusting each other and playing to the next thing.